Hey guys, it's Jeremy from howtohockey.com. I'm just doing a final update on my wrist shot and snapshot challenge that I started early in the summer. So first I'll just give you an update on what I was doing. I started the summer with clocking my snapshot and wrist shot on the radar gun to see what my averages were and sort of what my top speed was. And then throughout the summer I was testing little things to tweak my technique and try to improve my snapshot and my wrist shot. So I have been able to increase my snapshot and wrist shot by about 5 to 10 miles per hour, which I think is pretty great. And I noticed a few little things in my technique that I was doing wrong, and I improved those over the summer. So I'm going to tell you what I did there to improve my technique. So let's get to the technique and I'll show you what I used to be doing and what I am doing now to help me get a harder shot. And hopefully it'll work for you guys as well. First I'll talk you through the little tweaks that I did with my technique to help me improve my shot. By about 10 miles per hour, which is pretty significant for a wrist shot or snapshot, and my shot was already pretty good to start with, so I'm pretty impressed that I was able to take it up a notch. After that I'll take a few shots on the net, and I've got a radar gun set up and a GoPro so you can see the actual speed of my shots. There were a few things that helped me increase the speed of my shot. I'll go over them right now. The first one, which wasn't a big one for me, but it just helped a little bit, was the weight transfer. I was already getting decent weight transfer in there, but I find a lot of hockey players that are beginner to intermediate, they shoot more straight-legged, so they're standing up more. Definitely want to use your legs. Bend those knees when you get that shot and get that weight transfer going. So start by pulling the puck back, right? And when you're going to take that shot, start leaning forwards and really push off that back leg. That gets the energy moving towards your target, right? So you want to get moving, get your whole body into that shot, and then pull the trigger. So you don't want to be standing up and taking that shot. You can't get any weight transfer there, right? You just pull with your arms and then pull the trigger. What you want to do, bend your knees, you can lean back farther, you can pull the puck farther, you can explode, especially when you're on skates, right? If you push off with that front foot, you can really pull that puck, get it really moving a lot before you pull the trigger and get that shot on the net. So that's one thing, is bend your knees, especially that back leg, lean back, right, and really push when you're taking that shot. Next thing I'm going to talk about is having an active top hand, and that's the one that really helped me the most. For my wrist shot, one of the biggest things that helped me increase the speed of my shot was getting an active top hand and also having my bottom hand in the right spot. I see a lot of people, when they take their wrist shots, they have their hands up pretty high. I find having down a bit lower with the newer sticks that have more flex, you can really get the stick to work for you because you're flexing that stick, right? And using your top hand also helps. And what I mean by having an active top hand is pulling back on that top hand, really pushing forwards that bottom hand. Because that motion right there, if you do it quickly with explosive power, it's going to cause your stick to bend a little bit, right? You're going to, then you're going to be putting potential energy into the stick by flexing it. You're going to get the flex, and when you release, that stick is going to be adding power, your arm's going to be adding power. So put that into perspective for you. When I'm taking this shot, right? Some people, they have their top hand right up near their hips, and they do all bottom hand and shoot like that. They're just using the bottom hand, getting a little bit of weight transfer in there, right? But they're not using that top hand. So what I recommend for you guys to try is get that top hand out, get it away from your hip. So you don't want it right here, you want it out here. When I take that shot, you know, I start with it a bit closer to my hip, so not like way out here, but I pull it and I'm moving both of those hands like this. So watch me here. I don't have it right against my hip, I have it out, you know, about a foot, right? And I'm pulling, and you can see I get it right out here, and then I really pull back on it and push with that bottom hand. You have to do it really quickly. So in slow motion, just pulling the puck, and then really getting my top hand out like that, and then really pulling back on it. So almost like just quick little snap motion. Last thing that I noticed that really helped me improve with my snapshot was really leaning on that stick. So really bending it, getting to flex, right? So you want to have your hand right about the middle of the shaft for the snapshot, about the middle to a little bit higher up for that wrist shot. But you definitely, with the newer stick, you want to use that flex, right? So don't have your hand right up here, just about using your bottom hand, right? You don't want it up there, you can get a little bit of whip, but for the snapshot and even the wrist shot, have it farther down so you can really bend that stick, especially when you're pulling back that top hand, pushing with that bottom hand. That explosive movement causes the stick to flex a little bit and gets you more whip, more energy on the shot. So for the snapshot, definitely want to use that bottom hand, and what I mean by really leaning on it is get that weight transfer. So right here for the snapshot, I'm shooting from the off foot. I'm really going to lean in, right, and get that shot and get that top hand out like I did like I was explaining before. So with the snapshot, you know, lean in, get that top hand out like that, and then really pull back with that top hand and push down on that bottom hand and then let her rip. Alright, so that's the thing about the bottom hand. Also for the wrist shot, I found sometimes if I just really lean on it just before I'm going to take that shot, it helped improve my shot a bit. The problem is I had trouble really leaning on the bottom hand and getting that top hand out at the same thing. It's like I could do one or the other. So to get the hardest shot, I found punching out that top hand and really pulling it back helped. For a pretty hard shot, really leaning on that bottom hand at the very end and getting the snap in the shot. So use whatever works for you. Alright, so I got the GoPro set up with the radar gun so you can see my speeds. I'll just fire off a few wrist shots here, and you won't really be able to see my technique, but I'll switch up the camera later so you can just see how I was shooting. But just give you an idea of the speeds that I'm getting. Alright, let's see if we can pop a few over 60. There we go, 61. Right off the start. A little more weight transfer, I should be able to get a harder shot in that, let's see. There we go, 63. That's good. Really reef back my top hand, try to get that weight transfer. See if we can break 63 here. Oh, 61. 60. 64, nice. As you can see, my wrist shots are fairly improved since the last time I was shooting. I'll just do a few snapshots here, so shooting from my off leg, see if I can get some better time or speeds with that, and then I'll show you the technique. Let's see if I can break that. 4, 7. There we go. 5, 8, 7. So this last type of shot is just a snapshot, but a little more power. It's not taking it from my off foot, stepping into it and getting that snap motion on the end. So I'll be pulling the puck in and then getting the snap on it. So I'll show you the technique for that after this as well. 58, 64, 61, 58. This one I'll pull in right from the side, so instead of from behind me, in front of me. 5, 4, 2, 5, 7, 61, 63, 60, 59. I'll walk you through all those shots really quickly. So the first one is the full wrist shot. So what you're doing is pulling the puck across your body and then pulling the trigger, and that trigger pull is a really important spot, getting the top hand out. So I got a puck right here, pulling it back, cupping it with the blade turned over like that, right? Pulling, pulling, pulling. Right when you get to that front foot, really pull back with that top hand and push forwards that bottom hand and get that nice snap. That's when you want to pull the trigger. So remember, you get your top hand out there, right, and really pull back and push. And it helps if you have the radar gun, because you can really get that, find that technique that really works for you. I noticed the difference between getting the top hand out and leaving it right against your hips. So I'll do a wrist shot right here, showing that motion, pulling, getting that top hand out, really like sort of pushing out, and then pulling with the top hand, pushing with the bottom hand. Here it is. So there's one for you, and you can notice I'm really pushing that top hand out and getting that snap, like that, right? For the snapshot, you're shooting off the off foot. So what you want to do here is really lean in, right, and get that top hand out, same thing, and really pull back and push. So you're basically using all arms, but lean in, push that top hand out, pull with the top hand, push with the bottom hand, and get that weight transfer. So lean on that stick, get that bottom hand working for you. So remember to get those hands away from you. If you look at the pictures of the NHL players, what they're doing, they're like this in the snapshot. You can see their stick is like bent like the U. For that last shot, it's a snapshot, but full body shot. So it's not. I'm not leaning onto the off foot. I'm pulling it and then getting a snap right there. So there's two ways that you can do it. You can pull it from behind you and then snap it, pull it in from the side and then snap it. But the difference is you're transferring the weight onto that front foot there. So for this one, I'll show you pulling it in towards my body. So I'm reaching out, pulling the puck in, and right when I get into that gravy spot right there, you do that snap. And you want to knock that top hand out, pull back with it, and push forward, just like with the wrist shot. So I'll do one here, pulling it in towards my body, and get that snap off. So that was a nice powerful shot that I was getting. You can see about 63, 64 miles per hour, right? But that's the motion you need to practice. Pull, snap, pull, snap. So pull it in towards your body, get that top hand out, push with that bottom hand, just like that. Boom, boom, boom. And you can do the same thing when the puck is behind you. Pull it towards, right when you get in that one gravy spot where it's the nice, usually release the puck from. Pull it in, snap. Pull it in, snap. Pull it in, snap. And you can also practice with your hands close together, pulling the stick through and snapping it. That's when the puck's really far away from you. Pull it in and snap it. So those are the three different shots. The full wrist shot, right? Leaning in from your off foot and pulling it in and getting that snap off like that. There you go. That's the conclusion of the wrist shot and snapshot challenge. You can see I was able to improve my snapshot and my wrist shot by about 10 miles per hour at my max speed, and my average is a lot better now too. I'm shooting harder on the ice, and also that's the thing. On the ice, wrist shot probably up over 70 miles per hour. Off the ice at 64, 65 at max, but when you're skating into it, you can get that better weight transfer. You already have that momentum going towards the net, and you can use your skates to really dig in the ice and get better weight transfer. So I think on the ice, I'd be hitting about 70 miles per hour plus. So pretty good for just some dude in his backyard. And hopefully those tips will help you guys improve as well. With weights, I noticed a little bit of improvement, but you know, once you stop doing the weight training, then you'll lose that because your muscles won't be as built, right? So I found the technique is going to help the most. Weights will help a little bit, but I didn't really notice that much of improvement. But I didn't really give him that good of a chance. I did it for a few weeks and then sort of got distracted. So that's the conclusion of the challenge. Hopefully my tweaks to my technique can help you guys improve as well. And if you guys noticed anything that helped you improve, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching the videos. Check out the next one and check out howtohockey.com for more tips. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and subscribe to our website.